this is a onboarding and user conversion flow for IP Annuity. They do a much needed service for renewing patents, trademarks, and other IP assets. Definitely something that could be useful to general counsel and tech firms and law firms or individual lawyers. So great site, but definitely could use some conversion optimization. One thing I noticed when loading the page, we had some page speed issues that I noticed. They're based in the UK, so I'm not sure if they're hosted over there, but that could be a page speed issue. But running it through Google Page Speed Insights, we see that they're scoring less than 50, which is something you want to be in a range of 70 to 80 here. 48 is pretty low. A lot of things that should be pretty quick fixes for the server admin to do. Enabling compression should help a lot. Caching all the static assets like the images, CSS, and JavaScript files will help. And some things about rendering. I did notice the first time loading the page, it loads all the content to this side and then it applies the CSS treatments to it. So with the page cached, it loads a lot better, but without the page cached, we see that it is a little bit strange the way it loads the assets. Right here, this is requesting a fresh version, and then after we get all the assets loaded, then it'll apply the look. Nothing too crazy there as far as user conversion, but it's not really a consistent experience. You want it to render all pretty nicely, and I thought it could have been applying some page speed techniques which actually improve page speed loading by applying the formatting at the end. It would, in some cases, you're able to get a page speed boost, but in looking at the page speed insights, we see that they're not really leveraging any of the normal page speed tricks. So that technique actually is not the reason why that it's loading the way it is. So it makes more sense to actually render it in the proper way, having the CSS in JavaScript loaded in the head and render the entire page properly. So anyway, that's one aspect of it. The website's secure, so that's great. It looks like it might be running off of a template website. The main issues I saw were really the text throughout the website and the lack of call to action buttons, which trying to get the user actually into the user account sign-up flow. There really isn't any sales funnel that's driving them toward this. It's really was a contact form-based flow, and even that really wasn't that great. So if we look at the header here, the logo is fine, a little bit pixelated, but still it's a fine graphic, very clean design. Home isn't really needed. We could drop that out. I would move the About Us down to the footer here and then have a more link to it. The About Us, I don't think they're really going to be using that as part of their decision criteria. And here we see a little bit wonkiness with the header image. Anyway, so I would drop the home out because the logo will take us home. I would drop the About Us down to the footer. Services are the main thing here. Possibly even wanting to break this out into separate links at the home page here across the top rather than have them in here. But this is fine. The account type, I would change the wording here. Autonomous account, really. I would put self-managed and then fully managed accounts to be a little bit more clear to the user. Autonomous isn't the best word for user managed accounts. Contact is great to have. This kind of website, I don't think it's really effective to have social media buttons at the top of the page, definitely in the footer, but I don't think it's something that you're not a retail brand, so I don't think you're going to be driving users by social media in large respects. I think it's going to be a paid or direct referral type user acquisition flow. This large carousel, normally I'm against carousels, but it's pretty good here. The sign-in thing, I would have a sign-in and sign-up buttons up here. Maybe a get started button. I like this blue or I like this green for the get started. So maybe if we get started, put up here and then sign in next to it on the right, that would be adding a call to action for the user conversion flow in the header itself. Definitely could get rid of these social network buttons, which aren't really going to be driving our conversions. Sign in isn't something that you want to have repeated throughout this carousel sign-in is something that you've already converted the user. They know how to use the system or why they're using the system. So having it in this marketing carousel isn't doing you any good. I think you're going to want to stick it up here. So learn more or get started would be the two buttons I would have here. Maybe even contact us. Again, this carousel looks good, but for the above the fold content, if we could somehow resize this, maybe chop off the edges here and shrink this down a little bit so we could fit this into the above the fold, which is the page content that we're able to see on by the default browser size. If we're able to squeeze these 3 bullet points in above here, it would be a little bit better. And then as we come down here and we see these bullet points which are describing the services you're providing, you only have learn more. This might be a get started / learn more. So I would have a learn more link and then a get started link here, or get started learn more. That would be adding another conversion point to the home page, which would be good. That's what we're trying to do. We're just trying to get the user into we want to have a conversion point throughout the website wherever the user has made a decision that they're going to start using the services. So maybe they get here, they say, okay, I desperately need this. Bam, I'm going to have a register. If the register button's here, I'm going to take advantage of it. So or they're going to come down a little bit. They're going to say, okay, I reviewed this information. I made my purchase decision. I want to sign up. Bam, I have a conversion button here. Again, here, I've learned a little bit more about the services they provide. I've made a decision I want to use them. I don't want to learn more. Bang, click here to get started. So having another conversion point here is something that we want to do. To learn more is fine. For all these blurbs throughout the website where we're giving a piece of information that has pages behind it, we want to use consistency throughout the messaging. So learn more. On other pages, I see different wording used. We'll get to that, but you want to have it consistently throughout the website. So again, this looks like it could have been a template based website. Definitely an attractive template, but this is where it kind of gets a little strange. YIP annuity, this is fine. Generic graphic here. These are all fine. I don't have any problem with it, but a contact now is a good thing to have throughout the website, but I think it's better to also have a conversion button here. And so we're going to have this formatted conversion button, and it's going to be the same color up here. It's going to be the same color in the main carousel. It's going to be the same color for all these sections, and we're going to use it throughout the website. And then we get down here another set of bullet point style information pieces. I'm not sure that it's actually helping the user or confusing the user, because we again have more learn more, which is taking them into other places in the website. So we want to kind of streamline this a little bit and simplify it. So maybe get rid of this and have it on the pages further within the site. We want to simplify the home page as much as possible while still allowing the user to continue their discovery process and make their decision. So testimonials are always great. This is fine having this section here. Having 2 sets of the testimonial style or client section is fine, but I would tighten this up. I would get rid of this line here, make this space a lot smaller. This could be tightened up a little bit. This little separator thing isn't really needed. So this is a big scroll section here just to get down to the footer. This free demo is great, but it takes you to the contact page rather than sticking the person into the website. So I'm not sure. We'll get to the contact flow in a second, or the conversion flow in a second. But you're going to have to decide whether you want to stress a free demo or an instant account sign up. It depends on the application itself, whether it's something that they're going to be able to manage pretty intuitively on their own, or if it's something that you really need to do some hand-holding with them. If they're going to need a lot of hand-holding, they're going to want to stress the free demo aspect of it rather than the get started now aspect of it. But the get started now is really going to get them into your system a little bit better. So the footer, I would have moved these social media assets down here. The latest news, the last update was April 19, 2014. So if you're not going to be actively blogging or actively tweeting, then I would just remove this entire section here and put the social media networks down here. And this would be our About Us section. So simplifying this to some degree would be better. As we get down to the services, so I'm interested in patent annuities. The text throughout the website needs to be checked for English grammar. The description content here is really strong, but let's see if we go to the contact form. No, let's see if we can find a conversion form. So the check our prices text is kind of repeated twice here with the button and down here. Fill following form and check prices. So fill following form is not proper English, and there's several other instances on the website where the labeling isn't correct, definitely on the conversion form. And this is a service that's going to be used by lawyers who are very particular about how things are worded, and having text issues like that are something that needs to be addressed. So details are compulsorily required to be filled in, which means information is required here. This is something that should be very simplified. Doesn't need to be this full thing. It could be down here, and it could just be said required field. Most people know that an asterisk means that the field is required. This whole long form is not doing you any good. You want to have the very bare minimum of it. I think you could strip out half of these fields. Secondary email, I don't see why you're ever going to need that. Why you're ever going to need huge text comment fields for address line 1, address line 2. A lot of this, you just have to simplify this as much as possible. I mean, this is almost as bad as filing a trademark or patent on your own at the patent office. I mean, this is just really tedious form stuff that needs to be taken out. So simplification throughout the website. Text review for grammar and simplifying it is going to be needed. This is what I was referring to earlier about more details and learn more. So instead of more details, you want to have learn more here. Again, this might be something you want to strip out. You might want to strip out the frequently asked questions. We want to simplify the website as much as possible. Again, you're kind of taking people away from reading the content and making a decision, rather than having them trail off into other sections of the website. I don't think you want to have this form here. I think it should be a get started. Whatever button you decide on using, either the free demo or get started, I would have that at the bottom of this page rather than this long form. You really just want to capture the person's name and contact information so you can market to them and complete the conversion process, rather than have them simply abandon just because they don't want to fill out this entire form, or in the rare cases that you do get one. I think you're going to lose a lot more people because they don't want to fill in the form, rather than filling in the bare minimum information and converting that way. So quick inquiry is not common web terminology for a contact form. So you want to revisit this, have someone who's experienced with web-based text, go through the entire site and make changes to things like this. The comments section is a single line. That's not really a normal comment section. So this should be a multi-line text field. Strangely enough, I'm looking for a conversion form. I actually want to sign up for the website so I could show you the registration flow, and I'm having a hard time doing it. So right here, to go to our register page, it's a single text link buried on one of these pages within the website. So there's no really way to drive me to the contact form. And instead of just clicking the user to another page, I would have the pop-up. I would have the registration field come on this page in a pop-up window, rather than taking me to an entirely separate page. And this page just really needs to be optimized. This is definitely a major issue with the grammar. Please fill the information is not proper English grammar for a page like this. This page really should be your most powerful and important page on the entire website, and it should be an inline pop-up that's activated from the other pages, like I had mentioned, rather than its own page. Free sign up here, I mean, this is just not proper conversion-based English text, and I'm not going to give you my VAT without trying the system, so a lot of this could be stripped out. I would have all this in the user profile section of the web, within the web application itself. I wouldn't have this on the account sign up. The only information we really need is their name and their email address, possibly their phone number. Requiring an organization, it's on the homepage. It said this service could be for individuals, so I have no organization. So why is this a mandatory field for me? Note all fields are mandatory. This is not proper queuing the user for how to fill the form in. So this page really just needs to be revised, refined, and made laser focused to get the user to convert. And once we have the user's email address and phone number, then we're able to start our real sales process, which is direct contact via email. So those are the major things with the website. The conversion page needs to be worked on. You need to have more call to actions, which is getting the user to sign up for an account or to contact them. I just think that you could really boost conversions by a significant amount with some of these changes. But again, this site's attractive. They're providing a much needed service. It just needs to be refined to some degree to make it a little bit better at converting users. So hope that helped. Good luck.